Hi, yeah, I'm just going to try and keep this one short and sweet, but look, this is just a little post-fight review of Alexander Povetkin versus Michael Hunter. What a fight that was. That was a really good little scrap. I'll be honest, it followed a similar pattern to what I expected, except I expected Hunter to box early, and then to sort of try and beat up Povetkin down the stretch. That seemed to be the game plan that made sense for me. Now, Povetkin boxed exactly how I expected him to. Like a fucking little ball, just go in and swing for the first 6 or 7 rounds, which is exactly what he did. Povetkin, as expected, did tire. I think he tired quite noticeably towards the end, especially. That being said, Hunter was tired as well. And that is because Hunter, rather than utilising his jab and his range and his boxing ability, just went straight in for the kill from the first opening bell. And Hunter went to war. He really did. For me, I was surprised with the amount of mistakes that Hunter made, really. He did a lot of rushing in against the shorter, in terms of range, man. The reach difference, there was quite a sizable reach difference. I believe there's about a 5-inch reach difference, if I'm not mistaken. So Hunter didn't utilise his longer reach at all, and he sort of tried to fight on the inside a bit, which is Povetkin's game. So Hunter got hurt a few times in this fight. In one round, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was held up by the ropes. So he got quite badly hurt in that fight. And he also got buzzed as well a second time in that fight, which I'd say was even worse, actually. So, but that being said, Povetkin himself got hurt a couple of times. So they both did get visibly quite hurt. They both put it all on the line. They both really, they dug in deep, and it was just, by the end, it was a bit of a hugging match because they were both exhausted. So, look, they both went for it early, and they both went for the knockout. They both come to bring it. It was a very, very good fight. Exciting, good old slugfest, you have to say. A lot of people are now talking about a rematch. For me, I don't really want to see a rematch of that, just because, Dave Allen, which it would be brilliant if he could take his own advice, funnily enough, actually tweeted out and said, look, Povetkin's 40, sort of thing, you can only go to the well so many times, sort of thing, and look, at 40, to have a fight like that, to come for a draw against a young contender, I would bow out on that. And, look, I have to echo those thoughts. Look, I don't really want to see Povetkin rematching Hunter. At the age of 40, you can only go to the well so many times, and I think I don't know how many more times Povetkin can, particularly after coming off a war like that. At his age, that sort of fight, that does put a lot of miles on the clock. And that would not surprise me if next time you see Povetkin step in the ring, he's a shadow of himself. That has happened time and time again, and history repeats itself. We have to pay attention and say, look, we know what happens when a fight like this happens to a fighter of that sort of age, when they go through an absolute war. Look, we may not see the same Povetkin again. Either way, it was a fantastic, valiant effort. In terms of the scoring, I'll be honest, I was roughly scoring it, in my head, rough round by round, not like writing it down or anything, just watching it and enjoying it. And to me, if you had either, maybe Hunter by 1 or a draw, I don't really have any problem with that. So a draw, absolutely fine result. There's no robbery there. Neither fighter has any feeling to feel aggrieved. Particularly not Hunter. I felt like Hunter seemed at the end, he seemed like really pissed off, like he'd been absolutely robbed, but he really hadn't been. Another thing I want to add in is, can Hunter please stop all those cringy sort of WWE entrances, please? Please, just none of that. I just want to see you fight. But, no, look, Povetkin, Hunter, brilliant fight. There probably will be a rematch. You can see it on one of the Matchroom USA cards in the new year, next year. They'll probably will rematch. There's unfinished business there. They might even better make that a headliner. So, look, I wouldn't be surprised to see that become a stateside rematch. I think it probably will happen. But, ideally, I think I'd like to see both fighters move on. Either way, I think that proves two things. It proves that Povetkin is still probably a viable top 6, no worse than 7th top 7 fighter in the world. And Michael Hunter drawing with him shows that, look, he's on par with someone like Povetkin, which, again, puts him no worse than what 6, 7, 8 in the world. So look, Michael Hunter is, for me, establishes himself there to show that he does belong up with the big boys. I still do stand by and say that I think Hunter will upset someone. I know this. I'm not claiming that this. I'm the only person that's saying this. I have heard other people come out with this. There's been other YouTubers and other people on this site that have said a lot of similar things about Hunter. You know, he just has that look about him. And the thing about Hunter is not only can he box, as we saw in this fight, he can get stuck in. And look, if Hunter gets stuck in the way he got stuck in against Povetkin against Joshua, if he manages to land on that very vulnerable temple of Joshua, then, you know. So look, that's a fight I'd be interested to see. Also, would quite like to see, I mean, I know it's different networks and politics, I'd quite like to see Hunter Fury. I think that would be quite a fun fight. In terms of Povetkin, where Povetkin goes from here, I think, personally, I'd like to see him hang them up on that performance. I think that's a good way to bow out. You know, he's just drawn and gone to war with a real hungry contender. Maybe go and have a final fight in, is it Chekhov, his hometown in Russia? I might be wrong on that, but I think it is. To go and maybe have a homecoming fight and then call it a day, something like that. But look, at the age of 40, I don't want to see Povetkin in too many more of them. So look, I think there probably will be a rematch. But if you're asking me personally, I'd like to see Povetkin call it a day and Hunter sort of fight on with a few more contenders. So look, let me know what you think and take care.